and take a look at your coverage policies and tell your providers what's missing from their documentation. That's something that you can start right away. Okay, Maurice, I'm ready to go to questions.
Betsy, that was great. That was great. And certainly for anyone that's on our GE Centricity software on our version 11 or 12, they are covered because we've been ICD10 ready for a couple of years now. So that based back on the first go-around. So we've got a couple of good questions that have come in. Betsy, let me run this one by you. I've heard that our office nurses and lab techs need to be trained in ICD-10 too. What do you think of this? Oh, and before you answer that, for anyone that wants to go ahead and ask another question, we have a few that have come in. Just expand that orange arrow in the top right corner of your screen in the Go to Webinar panel, and there's a little question panel, and as you type that in, then we'll see the question and queue it up for. So office nurses and lab techs, what do you think, Betsy?
So that depends on what your office nurses and lab techs are doing. But if they're performing a service that they report, so they're doing the immunization, they're injecting, you know, some B12 or some Rocephin, then in all likelihood, they're going to need to be familiar with ICD-10. But what you want to do when you think about that is think about your workflow. So if in your workflow the physician has ordered the Rocephin injection and they have already selected the diagnosis that is the indication for the injection, then the nurse doesn't really have to know how to look it up. But if you have a different workflow, let's say your nurse needs to select a diagnosis code, pharyngitis, in order to be able